In this video, I will give endless resources to people for 1,000 years. We have such a modern map, and now I'm going to turn on one very interesting feature. Opus. Now they have all the resources of this world, and we will settle the very first two of our people in Africa. The first one we will call the navel, and we'll call the second one a magnifier. We'll give everyone an asterisk, and let's check what resources they have. Oh, yes. So our development begins. I propose to rename our settlement. Let's rename them to Monkey. Yes, it's not stupid. I'd rather call them a bottle. Just right. The first bonfire has already appeared in our country, and they gave birth to 2 more people and began to equip a new house. Our settlement already has about 5 people. Well, they still have to populate the whole world. We wish them good luck. It's already night, or rather the era of the moon. I think they should be turned off completely, because it will just get in our way, and we will leave only the era of hope. Our settlement already has as many as 34 people and has its own army. It's a massive battle. They're trying to kill a rhino. Are you morons? What did the poor rhinoceros do to you? They killed him after all. Real poachers. Some individual is mining mithril. I only have one question. Why the fuck are you mining it if you have endless resources? Well, apparently he just likes it. I looked at how much resources they have and realized that they will last exactly for millions of years. Let's give them some gems now. After all, they already have endless resources. Yes, they are even richer now. As you can see, gradually the bottle state begins to expand its borders. And I also have this question. Why do you need a mill if you already have endless food? They're so dumb. Oh, our bottle makers have already established a 4th settlement. Our pets Pupa and Lupa have been living for 65 years, but only the magnifier has the 6th level, and the navel has a 4th. Our navel is wise and wonderfully born, and is an ordinary person, but the magnifying glass is our king, and he is also cheerful. As I observe, people have already got the first fishing boats for fishing, which is so much. What? How did Pupa die? Everyone will remember this great man. He will remain in our hearts forever. The earth is metal to you, little brother. Our bottles founded a new settlement on the territory of modern Europe, and they are also beginning to move towards Central Africa, and they are about to begin to populate Asia. Why the fuck did Lupa also die? Now this world will have to go on without you, but you still have a huge legacy that counts 267 people, and if you look at the culture, they have already reached level 12. They study boats, 3rd level houses, swords, weapons, as well as unnecessary mills and mines, and the level of knowledge acquisition is 9.8, and let's call their culture the coolest name, water. And so our first uprising took place. Some morons have risen up, and let's call them a vegetable garden, and here is the first battle accordingly. Gardeners are fighting against bottle makers. Only that's why I don't know yet. Let's see what we have here on development. As you can see, we already have stone houses of about 4 levels. In principle, everything is okay. Bottle makers were able to grab the rebellious settlement, and the settlement of the rebels remained only in modern Europe, and here are the first steps to conquer Central Asia. Our rebellious gardeners were completely suppressed by our bottle makers. Serves them right. Now bakers are in full control of this world. All 132 years have passed, and these are the results our people were able to achieve. And if you look at the resources, they have almost nothing added. What do we have here? Worms. How delicious. And they also have a lot of weed. Someone has decided to stage an uprising again. Let's call them Bad Ebon. And as you can see, the whole of modern Europe was almost invaded. Now they will go to Russia and Central Asia, and they are still clearly far from America. But following the example of the last uprising, Bad Ebon goes into oblivion. Some man wants to lead an uprising. You seem to be wise, but at the same time you have 0 brains. This life doesn't teach anyone. And let's call this settlement the USSR. What's going on here, guys? What is it? What are you doing here? Did you come here to come to the ship? Or are you exploring new territories? And I also noticed the freezing cold and snowy taiga. Somehow palm trees grow here. Palm trees. Are you serious? And at the moment, the water culture has 122 years, 24 levels, 22 settlements, and 1572 people. As you can see, the USSR is trying to fight back, but most likely the bottle makers will capture them now. Well, that's basically all that's left of our USSR, and our bottle state again has worldwide power. Well, you also can't do without people who want to rebel again. Oops, they built a statue of a dragon. Our bottles have captured most of Europe and will now gradually capture Central Asia, and that's all in 183 years. As always, there was another uprising, and we will call them Medic. And I have just one question. What are you fighting for? Why are you staging these uprisings if you already have all the resources of this world? Suddenly there was another uprising. We'll call them Kalalix. And now we have 3 states. The bottle, the medic, and the Howliki. Unfortunately, the bottle is losing its strength because a lot of rebels have been appearing lately. And while I was talking, another rebellious settlement appeared, and I want to call them Capybara. On your screen you now see the tops of the states. In the first place we have a bottle. In the second a capybara, doctors, and Hololix. But if you look at the origins of the whole story, then everything comes from a great culture, water. The capybara state and the doctors decided to unite in one alliance against the bottle. You have betrayed your history. How can you not be ashamed to live after this now? And now there was another uprising. Let's call them God. And that's what didn't suit you. You had everything. Money, chicks, cars, admin panels. Well, you understand in short. As you can see, capybaras have very huge territories, and the bottle has lost all its military power. This is all that remains of our great empire. The bottle kingdom was destroyed, and this event marked a new era of new states. We already have 2 new alliances. The first is called the Union of Gis, and the second is the Union Union of Pati? Well, it's quite normal. The Union of Geese is part of the state of God and Kalalaki, and the Union of Pati includes capybara and doctors. And at the moment, 223 years have already passed. As you can see, our people have already moved to China, and now Australia is likely to be populated already. And finally, the first people who populate America are beginning to appear. Now we have a war of two alliances. What a cool battle. OMG. What is a torch? Or is it a Molotov cocktail? What was that? Please write about it in the comments. I don't understand who is in this battle now, which race belongs to, but it looks pretty cool. Our world culture of water already has a whole 50 level and as many as 57.3 units of knowledge acquisition. Meanwhile, the chieftain state is beginning to conquer more and more territories of Greenland and America, but so far these two alliances are at war with each other, and in fact, they have not even moved across the territories in any way yet. And this is how our main settlement looks like, from which the whole story began. But in the winter biome, everything is much worse, probably because it's cold. There was another uprising, and by the way, the Pati Alliance destroyed the Geese Alliance. In general, 287 years have already passed. They stupidly rise up, seize and rise up again, and so on in a circle. Therefore, I suggest the best alternative way to get out of this situation. I feel sorry for you.